Muito obrigado, gente. A gente agradece a quem esteve até aqui com a gente e quem está chegando, né? Essa nossa próxima conversa será um Keynote Speaker com a Mária Rakušanová. Eu vou apresentar rapidamente a Mária aqui em português. Mária Rakušanová é curadora da mostra Raindance Immersive Stories e uma das organizadoras do X-Reality USP. Na verdade, isso não é mais não é uma apresentação, uma reapresentação, uma vez que Maria já esteve aqui no Brasil em 2019 para a mostra X-Reality USP daquele ano. E nessa primeira vez nós estabelecemos uma parceria que continua. A Maria vai falar agora sobre a oferta e o processo de seleção de obras em realidades imersivas para o Raindance Film Festival e um festival britânico parceiro do X-Reality USP. Maria é líder de marketing de produto VR, AR, MR, curadora de experiências e construtoras de uma comunidade com uma extensa rede de criadores em todo o mundo. Eu queria dar boas-vindas a Maria. Welcome, Maria. Pixar, if you want to say something. Welcome, Maria.
Hi again. Nice to be back. Thank you for the introduction, Almir. Hi, everyone. Is Pixel joining as well? Maybe not. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to put the link to my Google Slides presentation here in this chat. In case there is some, troubles with audio, because I'm showing a lot of, I will be showing a lot of video material. So I'm really hoping that the audio transmission will be okay. In case not, then everyone is welcome to open my presentation. It's open. Or, you can check it out for future reference. Yeah. And then I'm also very pleased that for the International Interactive and Games selection, we were able to partner with HTC Vive's Viveport platform. And the selection is now live for the next days until November the 28th on the Viveport platform. So I'm also going to put the link of the Viveport platform here for you to check it out. And if you happen to have a high-end PC VR setup at home, which is what these interactive animations and games are, and headsets such as HTC Vive or Oculus Rift or Valve Index or Windows Mixed Reality headsets, then you can create an account on Viveport and download them and try them out because they're all amazing. Okay, so I will share my screen. And I'm hoping that there won't be any trouble with audio or video. And I'm also happy if you maybe don't show my video because that might affect the internet connection. So maybe let's just go straight to just the presentation only. Okay. Right. 1 second. Okay. It seems to be working, so I'm happy. Okay, and I'll change to my slides now. Oh, not that. This. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be working, so I'll get going. So, Raindance Festival is Europe's biggest independent film festivals. Started 29 years ago. In London by Elliot Grove, who is an artist, a sculptor, and an independent producer and also director. And he very much appreciated and loved independent cinema kind of from the get-go. And that led him to create his own film school to teach independent creators film skills. And then ultimately also the festival. So Raindance is both a film school and a festival. And Raindance has always been championing new technologies, new formats, new mediums for storytelling. And in 2016, we started to curate VR and XR. And I came on board as a curator. And of course, you know, for the first years, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, we've always had a physical presentation. But last year, the world has changed because of the pandemic. So we had to move ourselves to virtual worlds. And that's why I titled my presentation as Hello, New Worlds, because 2020 is also started to kind of being the year of social VR experiences and multiplayer experiences, and virtual people started to build virtual worlds and experiment with this new medium of virtual worlds in order to connect with other people, in order to be able to meet with other people while we can't meet in real life. Well, what do? We adapt. We put on a headset, we build a virtual world, and then we meet in virtual worlds. That's what we do. Okay, so let me just kick my presentation off. All right. I'm actually working here with several browsers, so please bear with me. One second. Okay. All right, just give me a second. Maybe I shut my window where I had my presentation. I haven't used this piece of software before, so I typically use Zoom. So just 1 second, please do bear with me. Okay, I just need to log in. Right. Okay. Can you see my slides? I think I'm doing the right thing now. So just a couple of things about me. I've been in XR from basically end of 2013, early 2014, working for some big brands, and I also advised the British Academy and Television Awards, BAFTA, on XR, and I also worked with 2 game studios and VR startups in the past. Let me just check. Can everyone see my presentation okay? Can you just write me here in the chat? I think so, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. So just back to the selection, which is right now on Viveport. So if you go onto the link that I posted here, viveport.com X-Reality USP, you will be able to access the selection, create a free account, download the client for your PC, and then you can hop into your PC VR headset and start downloading all these different experiences. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I also would like to focus on highlighting some key trends in the VR industry and in content development over the last year, so during 2020, and what are the kind of major things that happened in our industry that were really innovative and that were pushing the envelope forward. So for those of you who have been gamers or VR gamers, I don't think I need to introduce the game Half-Life Alyx by Valve Corporation. Obviously, this is a kind of a continuation of the Half-Life franchise, which has been a significant video game for years and decades. And no wonder that actually Valve, who is a key player in VR, actually selected this IP as their kind of groundbreaking move into VR. And what makes this game really, really special, other than obviously the visuals, the story, the characters, is the physics-based interactions. So in video games before, for example, when you were opening a door, or when you try to, I don't know, for example, attack a zombie, because that's what you're doing in VR video gaming, it just almost like felt like stabbing something in thin air. Versus here, Half-Life, every object that you pick up feels like real life. It has a certain feel to it, and you can throw it. You can feel the objects around you. And I'm going to play you now a video. One of their artists very kind of proudly was posting on Twitter a kind of new shader that he developed for liquid physics in video gaming, and especially in VR video gaming. And that is something pretty groundbreaking. So I'll just play the video. And from a kind of design and technical point of view, this is how this particular video game is really pushing the VR industry forward. And now a lot of similar kind of bigger studios are starting to follow this trend of physics-based interactions.
Alex? Oh, there you are. There you are. There's no street shot to the vault.
Okay, so that was a little demo. Could you just write me here in chat whether you were able to hear okay and see the video okay? Just checking that it's all working. Okay, good. Okay, I will continue on my next slide. Okay, that's Half-Life Alex.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Oops.
No street shot.
Next slide. So another trend in VR video gaming specifically is another video game called The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, which is obviously inspired by the Walking Dead, actually, comic series. And it's created by an American studio called Skydance Interactive, who are still indies, actually, independent. And just like Half-Life Alex, this game is also very physics-based. So every object that you pick up feels real. And gamers love killing zombies, I guess. It's a very popular game. And actually, it has allegedly made $30 million in revenue, which is a huge news for VR. And this is the kind of first really leap year last year where VR content, specifically VR games, started to make a significant amount in revenue, so over $1 million and more, which is obviously what we need in this industry right now for the industry to kind of thrive and continue. Next is another, again, super indie game by a Polish studio called Superhot, which actually started out as a flat game, and they started to kind of port the game into VR in 2016, and they actually created a very, very good VR version. And it's one of those first VR games that when someone is buying a VR headset, this and Beat Saber is really the kind of first two games that people download. So last year alone, it's estimated that this game also made like a lot of good revenue, which is very, very healthy for the VR world, something like $25 million. Next is Beat Saber, which made tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars. And Beat Games, the studio who is behind this incredibly popular rhythm game, was actually acquired by Facebook and Oculus. And allegedly, the game has sold 4 million copies across all the VR platforms, and over 40 million songs were downloaded in paid DLCs, which is probably even more than, when someone is selling an album. So this is a huge achievement, not just for VR, but actually also for the music industry and the way how we interact with VR content and music. Last year also, because of lockdown, a lot of people obviously, couldn't go to the gym. So they bought, VR headsets, and a London startup, FitXR, they kind of became the most, one of the most popular fitness apps. So that's also another use case that shouldn't be overlooked. And this is another company that has made significant and very healthy revenue in VR. So this all shows very positive sign about the industry. And then one thing that warms my heart the most is Brazilian studio Arvore with their beautiful animation, The Line. They actually last year won the 2020 Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Innovation in Interactive Media. And The Line, we had it actually at Raindance in 2019. The same year, actually, The Line also won the Venice Award, the Venice VR Award, and took home a lion. And actually, what makes the Line special, that the version on Oculus Quest actually uses hand tracking, where you don't need any controller input. Basically, the Oculus Quest headset reads your hands and your fingers, and the story has these kind of like interactive objects and these knobs and elements that you can press and pull, and you do that in order to advance the story. And the story unfolds in front of you like kind of like a beautiful storybook. And you meet the two lovely characters who fall in love with each other. And in order to advance the story, you interact with these different buttons. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's done very, very cleverly. And of all the hand tracking applications I've tried on Quest, I think this is definitely one of the best ones. Another huge trend last year is obviously a lot of people rediscovered social VR experiences and social VR platforms. And I'd like to give a kind of like a special mention to the VR chat platform, which is one of the most popular right now. And they even made kind of like statistics and announcements last year that there are certain like social events that are happening on the platform where they're able to get 25,000 people into the headset at the same time, being in that particular VR experiences or a live event across various social instances, which is really amazing. So we at the festival started to kind of make a joke that VR chat and social VR experiences made social distancing into social instancing, which refers to a term of when you're entering these social VR platforms, you kind of get into one particular social instance. It's like being in a one room with a certain amount of people. So that's kind of fun. And the legendary French musician, Jean-Michel Jarre, the kind of father of electronic music, he actually gave a live motion captured concert for New Year's Eve in VR chat, which was incredible. I was actually very lucky to be able to attend the concert. So I'm just going to play you guys a kind of like a video recording where you will be also able to see Jean-Michel in real life as he's performing, and then his avatar in VR chat. And the visual effects were absolutely stunning, is just out of this world. It was basically, it resembled, being at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. And then as he was playing music, lots of visual effects were triggered, and actually all the proceeds from the concert actually went to a charity that helps to rebuild Notre Dame. So I'm gonna play a little video. Okay, I stop here. Actually, in my slides, the whole 53-minute concert has been recorded, so you can check the YouTube link. May I just check, was the audio okay? Did you guys, were you able to see the video okay? Can you just write me here in chat? Okay, good. So now back to Raindance and how our journey started, and then what is it that we did in 2020 in order to overcome the pandemic and actually bring the festival to a virtual world. So back in the days, the pre-pandemic days, we would meet in real life. And our festival has kind of 3 core pillars: the share, showcase, and then celebrate. So share, we get together for a day for our Raindance Immersive Summit, and all the selected artists and creatives and directors and producers and game developers, we all get together in London. A lot of international guests come and fly in and travel in, and then we all share our journey in creating these incredible VR experiences that are actually selected for the festival. And then that happens actually in the main cinema. Then in addition to that, we also work with a beautiful London gallery where we have our physical showcase with VR headsets, which is open to public and members of the industry and artists to come and experience the work. So that's the Raindance Immersive Gallery. And then last but not least, we also give out 10 awards for VR. And the award ceremony obviously happens in real life with real life trophies. However, all of this we couldn't do last year. So instead, we teamed up with VR Chat and Viveport, and we actually built a virtual world. And we were meeting there with the artists, with industry members, with VR fans, with VR Chat users as avatars. And we organized all our talks in VR Chat. We organized our showcase in VR Chat, and also our award ceremonies. And we had to split the award ceremonies actually into 3 different sessions. So this picture, what you see here, is actually taken from one of the award ceremonies just before we kicked off. And some of the creators are here. Some of them even like created special avatars with like beautiful dress, like night dress and tuxedos, because obviously this was an award ceremony, so they even put extra effort into their avatars, and we captured them here just in front of the red carpet. So we named our world the Raindance Embassy because this is our virtual embassy in a virtual world. And we are the ambassadors to great VR experiences, to amazing VR artists. So we thought and felt that the metaphor of embassy really represents what this virtual world stands for. And of course, we are a London festival, so the whole building that you see here, the facade, was actually modeled based on 2 real-life buildings in London, and also the street. The world is fictional, but it's modeled based on London and real London streets, real London doors, real London buildings, real London nightclubs, and yeah, heavily inspired by actually the real world. And for the design concept, I actually walked around London during my free time, as there was like lockdown, and took a lot of pictures during the day and by night. And then those selected pictures, they served as a kind of design inspiration, and the pictures helped me to put together a concept. And I worked together with a 3D artist and a developer to be able to create a world. And basically from concept to finish, it was 6 weeks. And the last 2 weeks were crazy, where we were kind of almost working 24/7 with like 2-3 hour, 4 hour sleep a day, which was absolutely crazy. And I would never recommend that to anyone, but obviously the last 2 weeks were very important. Here you can see what we call our first white box. So as you enter from the street into the lobby, so this was literally the very first kind of build we created in Unity. And then we brought it into VR chat. And the three of us, we actually jumped in together as avatars, and we could look at our three-dimensional design, and we were like, oh, the ceiling is too high, bring it lower, or the staircase is too huge, we need to make it smaller. And then we settled obviously on the kind of the scale and the dimensions and the proportions, and voila, this is what happened. This is the end result. And we were obviously inspired by embassies or like beautiful hotels. So the staircase that you see here was actually inspired by the Grand Budapest Hotel film, the staircase there. And then the two sculptures that you see here, they are called Paper Beasts. They're actually from Eric Chahi's video game Paper Beasts, which was part of the selection. And I also selected it for X-Reality Festival, so you can try it now on Viveport. And we brought the Unity files of these two Paper Beasts into the lobby, and they are basically there as beautiful art. And you can even, as an avatar, you can even jump on the Paper Beasts and stand on them and admire them. And this is a picture from our very, very, very first public playtest of the world, because as we were building it, it was very important to bring in people and to start stress testing the world as like, what is the maximum amount of people we can bring into the world together concurrently? And we brought in 80 people for the test. And of course, these are very lovely users of VR chat, who is a really incredible community. Many of them are also world builders themselves. So they were very invaluable to us with their kind of professional feedback, and they gave us a lot of feedback on interactions and all kinds of little design hints and tips, because for us this was the first time we were not necessarily experienced with VR chat virtual world development, but yeah, we were very pleased with the end result, and a lot of the tips for more experienced creators and developers was actually really, really marvelous and really helpful. So here you can see a picture from one of my world tours, because before every event, I gave a little tour of the world, and I'm welcoming guests, and I'm the one standing in the red dress. That's my red carpet, red dress. And guests are coming in, and you can see many of them have human avatars. Some of them are frogs. We even had a guy who came dressed up as a hot dog. And different animals, or like a chili paprika. So VR chat is really full of fun, cute avatars, and you can even create your own avatars, and that's the kind of beauty of this platform. And a lot of VR chat avatars creators and like super users, they even use what is called full body tracking. So they don't just animate their hands and their facial expressions, but they are also able to walk around, and as they walk around or dance, you can see their feet are moving, which is really incredible. Here we are kind of progressing from the lobby to a corridor which has the posters of all the selected experiences, and I'm explaining and kind of like giving a tour, just like when you enter an art gallery and you're being given a tour by the curator. So yeah, it was similar to that. Here, the creators of Star Shaman, which is also selected for X-Reality USP, came in their avatars from their video game and are very proudly showing the poster of their experience. And then here we all took a picture on the red carpet. This was about 50 people during one of the nights and one of the kind of get-togethers. Let me just quickly double check here on the chat. Can you guys see my presentation? Is everything okay? I'm just kind of checking in. Can you write me here? Okay, good. I'll continue. Okay, and then here I'm on the red carpet with one of the winners, and this is the virtual Raindance trophy, which we created for every winner. And here are the 4 winners of a horror VR game, actually inside VR chat. And then during the festival, I had a birthday. So my friends even created a birthday cake for me. So we even had a birthday party in VR chat, which was really great. And then I worked with a independent filmmaker who specializes shooting films inside VR chat and VR worlds. His name is Joe Hunting, and he actually created and shot a documentary inside VR chat, which we also had as part of the selection. So I'm gonna now play the announcement trailer for the Raindance Embassy VR chat world, shot by Joe Hunting. And yeah, you will recognize me in the trailer.
Hello, Raindance here.
Hi, is the festival happening?
Oh yeah, we are in VR chat. We have a virtual embassy here. When you walk in, you will see two beautiful paper beasts. Go visit the galleries and go and take a picture on the red carpet. Have a cocktail in our club and jump through portals to other worlds. There's even a hidden speakeasy if you can find it. Oh yes, there's no stopping us.
So no stopping us actually became the slogan for last year's festival, as a kind of metaphors that to represent that no pandemic is able to stop Raindance from making the festival happen, and that kind of became like a heartwarming joke as well. So every video we created from the festival had the no stopping us kind of slogan to it. Okay, next. So every year we give out 10 awards. So we also obviously had the award ceremony last year. So here you can see the first 5 categories: best narrative experience, best documentary experience, best animation experience, best immersive world, which this was a brand new category last year. And I curated virtual worlds from inside of VR chat. And the one that won was actually a horror VR world and game. You basically play it as a game. It's really interesting concept. I actually will show the trailer. And then another new category was best multiplayer experience. And I will elaborate on this on my slides. Another key trend, in addition to creators building virtual worlds, is also a lot of theater and music people joining forces with game developers and storytellers and bringing in live actors into VR productions and VR games. And one such experience called Dr. Crumb's School for Disobedient Pets actually won the best multiplayer experience. And then the next the next categories were best immersive game, which actually the Devouring, which was this immersive game and VR chat world, won best immersive game. Very interestingly, being a multiplayer social VR experience. Then outstanding achievement in art, outstanding achievement in audio, outstanding achievement in design, and then our favorite award at the festival is the Discovery Award Best Debut, because Raindance stands for discover and be discovered. And this is a specific award created for first-time VR creators and first-time VR directors and developers. And it's always great fun to see people who had never done a VR experience before to bring their debut to the festival and then obviously winning an award. So next I will play you a little kind of clip from one of our award ceremonies, so you get an idea of what it was like to host these events in our Raindance Embassy virtual world in VR chat.
Very pleased to announce the first category tonight, which is Best Immersive Worlds.
I've been really, really impressed, not just by the quality of the content, but the quality of the culture that goes with everything that happens in this space.
Our honorable mention goes to Dirk at work for Moranga.
Woo, congratulations!
Yes, thanks so much.
And so the winner for the best immersive worlds for Raindance 2020 is The Devouring.
Yeah, I guess thank you to everyone who has played it. It was a really long, almost torturous 10 months of development work on it, but the response, I don't think we expected it to be as big as it ended up being.
All these multiplayer games are incredibly fun in their own unique ways.
Our first honorable mention is The Devouring. Well done, Devouring. Our second honorable mention goes to The Tempest. Hey, well done. Deidre, get up here.
Okay, then without further ado, the winner of Best Multiplayer Experience goes to Dr. Crumb's School of Disobedient Pets.
Of course, we have to give credence to Kim Adams and Max Planck for being the creators. Also, Janine Willett, the immersive theater director.
Our third awards category tonight is Best Immersive Game.
The winner of the Best Immersive Game award goes to The Devouring. Congratulations.
Obviously, thank you to the VRChat, the platform, because we wouldn't even started this if VRChat didn't exist. So it's like, yeah, thank you guys.
The Spirit of Raindance award goes to the Scarecrow team.
Thank you very much. I really didn't expect this. As she said, she didn't mention anything to me, and wow, this is incredible.
Okay, so I will get to the dance performance, which you were able to see on the slide, on my latest slide. So next I'm going to highlight the key trends and highlights from Raindance Immersive 2020. So first I will call out Paper Beast, a beautiful game by the legendary game designer Eric Chahi, who is the creator of very well-known, games from like even the early 90s, and he focuses on a very kind of emotional game design. And Paper Beast is not only beautiful, so it won the Outstanding Achievement in Art and Outstanding Achievement in Audio at Raindance, and it also has very, very kind of high-quality physics-based mechanics. So the narrative is very kind of vague. It's not like a written story. It's not necessarily scripted. It's more like a journey that makes you feel. And you appear in this desert, and you're surrounded these paper beasts that represent data, but at the same time, it represents, on one hand, our relationship with data and technology, but also the way how we as humans are more and more focusing on technology and kind of losing touch with nature and animals. So it has a certain kind of like social impact element to it as well. And you're able to interact with these paper beasts, and when you like pick them up and grab them, it has a kind of physics feel to it. You can feel the weight of these animals. So it's also technically a very interesting game design. I'll play the trailer now. Okay, I go to the next trend because I'm conscious of time. So the next one I'm going to highlight is Maranga, which is a virtual world created by an artist called Dirk van der Meer, who's a Dutch artist who actually moved to Curaçao And this is a social VR experience where several people can come in together, and it feels like some sort of a tropical little adventure. And you can walk around the beach. You can discover like a cute little town that looks like being in Curacao, and then you can even swim underneath the ocean. So I'm just going to play the trailer really quickly. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna quickly show you a short interview created by my friend Joe Hunting with Dirk, actually shot in VR chat. And Dirk was the artist who modeled the world, and then he teamed up with a developer, and it's only 2 people who worked on this beautiful social VR world experience.
So this house is kind of the centerpiece for Maranga. And again, it has another one of those round gates that I love so much. That kind of draws you in. This house is really something that I started making when I got inspired by watching the movie Coraline. They have this like big kind of Victorian style house. And I really love that style. And it was like, I want to put something like that in Maranga. So I made my own version of that. When we enter the house, and we'll see in a bit, it's actually empty. It's mostly empty. There's a little bit in there. One of the things that I kind of like about it now, this is really a world where, you know, you should want to be outside. This is not, I mean, it's kind of paradoxical because you're wearing a VR headset, but I kind of want you to be, you know, inside is not the place really to be. So if you swim, probably just doggy paddle like this. You kind of push water towards your face. It's, but you'll figure it out.
Did you know that Maranga was going to be a social experience when you started making it, or did you just build a world and then think, let's put people in this?
One idea I had was like, you know, I didn't really want to make this into a game. I want this to have the kind of quality that like nature has, where in real world, there's nature and you just go to it because you want to be in it. There's no necessarily an activity to do there. You just want to be in that space. So that was kind of my idea. And then very quick.
Okay, so hopefully this gave you an idea of Maranga and this virtual world. Can you just please write here in the chat that the video is working okay? Everything's okay? Yeah? Okay. So I go to the next example, which is the Devouring, the co-op horror game for up to 4 people inside the VR chat social VR platform. And this won Best Immersive World prize at Raindance and also Best Immersive Game. And the idea is that you go in with 3 other friends into this VR chat experience, and then it's about a 5-6 hour kind of puzzle solving game, and it's a bit scary but not too scary. And at the end it has a beautiful kind of grand finale where you like beat a monster. And actually the sound design in this game was also absolutely incredible. One of the 4 people who worked on this experience, Legends, the second guy here, he was also modeling the 3D world, but also listened to like 10 different horror game soundtracks before he composed the soundtrack for this VR chat horror world. It's pretty incredible, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next example.
If you can hear this transmission,
and that is the Dr. Crumb School for Disobedient Pets, which is a game for up to 4 people. And you come into the game together. It's like an escape room puzzle game, and you are greeted with a live actor, which you don't kind of at first know, is that a character in the game that is like not a human? And then you figure out, no, this is actually a real human who is there to guide you, just like in immersive theater when there is actors guiding you around the building, and it's super fun. So I'm just gonna quickly play a little video clip with it's an interview with the director, and then you will see a bit of footage from the VR experience as well.
We want to create a new type of medium. We want to create this new place where players can interact with a live actor. We think that this idea of remote live performance with actors that can be performing from around the world using virtual reality is a great use of this new technology. That is what we're doing with Dr. Crumb's School for Disobedient Pets. It's our first adventure where you and your friends you get recruited to the VIA, the Virtual Intelligence Agency, where they go after the kind of cases that the big guys just can't because they're using bleeding edge technology. And you and your friends become disobedient animals to infiltrate Dr. Crumb's School for Disobedient Pets.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm excited.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
And that's the actor.
Absolutely love the moment where someone gets into the experience and they go up to the live host who looks like an animated character like this, and the host says, "Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the VIA." And they think it's this animation, this game animation, and then he says, "Hey, I'm talking to you."
Welcome, agent, to the VIA. I'm the chief. How you feeling today?
And there's this moment where like, wait, what? Are you a real person? That's the moment that kind of that magic hits them, that, oh my God, this is a performance. This isn't just a game.
Wonderful. Well, hello there. Some new verbals for my minion army.
For us, a big mission of Adventure Lab is connection. And if people are talking to each other and understanding and you're sharing in the success of, oh, we're doing this together, then I think it's a lot more powerful. And so if one person...
So I'm going to move to the next example. I hope this kind of gives you an idea what it is to start, bringing live actors into your VR production. And a similar example is actually Scarecrow, which there is a really interesting story to this experience. So it's created by a university in Seoul, and led by the director is actually a former film director. And they started this out as a location-based physical VR performance where at Sundance Festival, actually last year, you came to a room, you put on a VR headset, and then you were in the virtual world, and there was an actor with you physically in the room playing the character of the Scarecrow. But of course, for Raindance, we couldn't bring this location-based performance to the festival because the festival wasn't happening physically. So I actually jumped into VR chat with the director. I showed him the platform. I showed him the capabilities and the possibilities. And 2 months later, he brought the performance into VR chat. And unlike in real life, where it would be one person and one actor, there was actually several actors and several people in the VR experience together. So here's a little video clip and an interview. And this is all real people, and the scarecrow is an actor.
Well, for me, the beginning of the story came from just one image of the scarecrow and the player in the battleground world. And VR is a kind of lonely medium, and then we kind of get to know each other, interact with each other, and we become a very meaningful friend at a very limited time, and then have to say goodbye. So very condensed emotion of getting friendly and saying goodbye to your best friend in 10 to 20 minutes. So the inspiration was that this two people's interaction in this very desolate world and interact together, and then having the best moment of their life and saying goodbye. But by saying goodbye, they bring the new life to the world. It's more. It's about the interaction. It's about the friendship to get over the loneliness and the evil spirits of the world.
The part that actually made me most emotional was when I was standing and I had the scarecrow painting a butterfly around my arms, and then everyone else joined in the audience, and I felt so joyful, and I couldn't stop smiling. I could not stop smiling.
Like everybody start like drawing colors to you. That's totally unrehearsed, and that kind of thing is something actually can happen in this kind of setup. And that's like, no, it's a collaboration, real collaboration, because we didn't have any plan like that. If somebody draw, let's go back and draw together. No, that's not the plan. Maybe one-on-one, we try to amuse each other, but painting your butterfly's wing together as a group was one of the most hilarious moment of the VR chat yet. And
so as you can see, the director actually also explains about how this live performance was kind of scripted but also unscripted, where it required audience participation, and the way how they engaged audiences by giving them the pencils so they can draw and then color in the world, because it started out as a kind of a scarecrow, like dark world, but you know, it all turns into this beautiful, colorful, kind of like rainbowy world. And yeah, it has a very heartwarming, beautiful ending as a story where you save the scarecrow as audience member. Okay, so as festival, we are very excited about virtual world, the various social VR communities, live theatrical groups, live dance groups, and musical performances in VR. So I'm going to highlight a few kind of like what's coming next as like the future. So multiplayer social experiences are absolutely here to stay. And in terms of technology, and there is like hardware now to support it, where you have full body tracking, where you're able to showcase yourself as an avatar with moving feet, then finger tracking, eye tracking, and then facial tracking and lip tracking. And all of these enhance self-expression and make you feel a lot more realistic as an avatar in VR. So I'm going to show a couple of videos here. So at Raindance, we had a South Korean breakdance performer called Makoto. He's only like 26 years old, and he gave a live performance as part of the VR ceremony. So I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to show you in real life what is it that he's using in terms of like gear. Okay, I'm just gonna go and show you guys Makoto's Twitter, because he tweeted how he uses, basically he uses an HTC Vive headset with a wireless adapter, the Valve Index controllers to track his hands, and then HTC Vive trackers for his belt and the two feet. So this is how this is what he's doing in real life, wearing a VR headset and a lot of tech. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, he's only like 26 years old. He taught himself how to break dance, and yeah, this is how he looks in real life. But in VR, you see him as a fully expressive animated character doing these backflips. And I'm just such a fan of his. I really admire him as a creator. Okay, I'm gonna go quickly back to the presentation. On the next slide, I'm gonna show you another trend, which is eye tracking. And this is actually one of my friends in VR chat who is demoing the eye tracking functionality. Look at the eyes. He's winking. And when you actually meet him in VR chat and you talk to him and he blinks, it feels really, really, really real. And great fun, actually. And here he's looking at this ball and you can see how his eyes are moving. It's really phenomenal. And then next trend I'm going to show you is actually lip tracking or facial tracking. So here's another demo. Check it out. And you will be able to see the tongue of the character. So far, this is kind of at a stage of almost like a tech demo, but this is happening actually on a different social platform called Neos, which you can actually access and download. It's free to access and download if you have PC VR headsets, so Vive or Rift or Index. And I'm just going to show you here on the next slide the different technology that was used in these examples. So for dancing, here on the upper right-hand corner, that's the Vive Tracker that you put on your feet and your belt for feet tracking. Then here you see the Valve Index controllers for your hands and finger tracking. And here is the HTC Vive Pro Eye headset for eye tracking. And then this little module down here at the bottom that's attached to it that tracks your lips and your bottom jaw. So this is technology accessible today. It's expensive still, but a lot of creators and even professionals are buying this, and actors, and they're starting to experiment. And then there is a VR startup from Singapore, and they raised a Kickstarter campaign with a new headset which is called Decagear, and that allegedly will have all these different sensors for eye tracking and lip tracking and even full body tracking embedded in one headset. I mean, if this headset actually happens, I will be very excited for it. For now, it's just more like a kind of like a concept, but yeah, they're obviously working on this piece of hardware, and maybe next year or even this year, this will start shipping. And I'm very excited to see, what happens and how the VR chat community, how game developers, how theater people will actually work with this headset. So I think my time is up here. So I'm just going to wrap here. We're very excited about the future of social VR experiences and all the new technology innovation that comes with it, all this different hardware, all these different social VR platforms such as VR Chat and Neos, and all the different experiences that theater and music and game developers and storytellers are building together. And ultimately, we are all creating these experiences so we feel closer together, and we can still get together even during a time of pandemic. So thank you very much. And I will give my microphone back to Almir. Thank you.
Hi, Maria. Thank you very much. Amazing, amazing. I thank you. I think these two keynotes that we presented today, we can do the bridge, because the last question for Kawaguchi was, what bridge can you build on the future? And now, the finish of your presentation, you talk about bridge and the future. I think it's very, very nice. Then I am very, very happy today with our X-Reality USP events, and you are present here. And Maria, I have two questions. The first, and when I saw your VR chat, I know your real building, Raindance real building in London. Yes, it's very, very. It's crazy because it's a hero building in your VR set.
Yeah. And that was the idea. We were inspired by the real world to bring the real world into the virtual world. And that's why we also called it the Raindance Embassy. It's like we are the embassy to VR in the virtual, in the virtual.
Was beautiful.
Thank you.
And then my first questions, did you receive feedback from the people, what the people thought about this experience?
I mean, what was really incredible about it, that typically when we host a festival in real life, I don't know, something like, a couple of thousands of people come, right? And come and visit the building and the cinema, and it's really just a few thousands. But in VR chat, because this is a social VR platform and you can access it either via VR headsets or even just on flat screen desktop, there were tens of thousands of people from the whole world coming, and especially very young people. I think the youngest person who came was like a 13-year-old boy who was the fan of Eric Chahi and the Paper Beasts, and he just wanted to come and jump on the Paper Beasts in the lobby. And then Eric Chahi actually came to give a speech, and I saw this very enthusiastic video from this 13-year-old boy on Twitter, and I reached out to him on Twitter, hey, come join Eric in the VR chat world. And the little boy was crying because Eric is he's a big fan of Eric, and that was incredible. And we had people who have never even been to London in real life. A lot of people from all over different parts of the world, people from America, Australia, from Africa, Japan, China, everywhere. And, they probably maybe wouldn't have the finances to come and, get on a plane and come to London. But in VR, it was free. I made it free for everyone to access and accessible. And it was a great experience. Everyone loved it.
Thank you. We have a question from the public, and I will read for you. Hi, Maria. It's a very impressive and wonderful, but I wonder if these work are online suitable for people with access to the technology and the appropriate gear, with means a very specific and limited niche.
Yeah, that's true. So the downside, of course, is that for now it's only, to be able to experience it in VR, you have to have the right VR gear. So that's the kind of downside of it. But if I count how many thousands of people, especially younger people, already have this gear at home, it's actually more than, the amount of people who actually come to the festival physically. And then for those obviously who don't have the the VR gear, that's why I worked with Joe Hunting, this VR chat film director and film creator, because he was recording these events, he was recording the interviews with the artists. So we had all these like flat screen recordings that we put on YouTube, so other people could at least have a taste of what we're doing in these VR chat worlds. Yeah, and we could have maybe taken it a mile further, where maybe we could have done like live streaming on Twitch or live streaming on YouTube. But in all fairness, that requires a huge amount of tech, and I didn't have a technical team. It was just me and me doing everything, and then two friends who built the world with me, and I was the producer of all the events, live in VR chat, and then Joe Hunting, my other friend, he was the one filming and shooting and then, you know, recording the videos and putting them out on the clips on YouTube. So if I had a bigger team, then we would have even done live streams. Yeah, but we are a tiny independent festival in that respect.
Okay. We have a question from Liara. Liara, can you ask your question, or I can wait for you?
Yeah, what are the prospects of the future of face-to-face exhibitions at Raindance? Well, I don't think it's going to happen this year either. I mean, here in the UK, like, you know, the vaccine is rolling out, but you know, doing a VR exhibition where you're putting a VR headset on your face, the hygiene, I don't know. I personally don't feel comfortable yet. So for this year, I still want to do it again in VR chat. I don't feel comfortable with even a hybrid event. Yeah, we will do a virtual edition this year.
Yeah.
Maybe 2022, maybe. Yeah, let's see. But
okay.
Virtual exhibition is safe. No COVID. I don't want to get COVID.
We know. I think the Liara questions is answers. And another question, could you talk a little more about VR and turn social distancing into social instancing?
Well, obviously, social distancing refers to, you know, when you go on the street, please keep the 2 meter, you know, don't go to other people, like keep your distance. And, you know, it became a phenomenon earlier last year, like social distancing and social, you know, you went out to like buy I don't know, food and social distance at 2 meter and it was just, you know, not a nice thing to like, you know, not a nice phenomenon. And then in VR, when you come into VR chat or Neo's platform, when you are entering a VR world, it's always with a fairly limited amount of people, you know, like maximum maybe 80 people, which is the technical limitation of these VR chat platforms. I mean, I'm sure in the future it will be more, but when you come to a VR chat world, it will not be with hundreds or thousands of people yet. It's more like a few. And when you are entering a world, we are calling it entering a social instance, as in we are in the same instance. So we were joking like, it's not social distance, it's social instance. So it's social distancing, no good. Social instancing is the good thing here. Yeah, that's what, and it became a joke.
This is our team this year. Had a theme presence.
Yeah.
Maria, you have another question, and congratulations on this wonderful presentation. What interaction and development strategy have you adopted to avoid motion sickness in these VR projects?
I mean, lucky for us, you know, the VR chat platform has 2 different types of locomotion. One is smooth locomotion, where you press down on the thumbstick and you move like this. And they did it in a way that it's not sickening. I mean, obviously, they are a professional social VR platform. They have tested this, so we had no worry about that. The other locomotion that we developed was jump. So you could like jump in our world just to be faster, or you could jump to see the building from a different point of view, and just jump for fun, jump for joy. And then there is also a locomotion technique, which is teleportation, where you like point with like a wand, and then you point yourself to a place where you want to like teleport yourself, and then you kind of like hop like a bunny. And it's also like kind of fairly slow and smooth, and definitely not sickening. Yeah, so VR chat as a platform was great to work on and adopt the tools, because no one got sick. Everything was fine. Even we were jumping like crazy, and it was fun. Even jumping down from the balcony.
On the ball. Maria, another question. Could you talk about the issues of access, particularly regarding the Brazilian audience?
I mean, obviously, that's always the kind of chicken and egg question for, you know, the particular Raindance selection. because Raindance always champions the latest cutting edge, the most innovative. So that means that requires also the kind of very high-end tech, which we would bring it to the festival. So I'm guessing that maybe, not that many people in Brazil have access to like a gaming laptop and then these gaming headsets. But those who do have, or those who could, go to university, or especially industry professionals who I'm sure have these headsets, then obviously they can experience the selection. And I'm more than happy to also actually put here the link to our VR chat world, because VR chat as a platform, you can download it from either Viveport or Steam or any VR store. It's free. You can just create an account, and then you can click the link while you're in headset, and that link will bring up the Raindance world, which is public for anyone who has a VR chat account to explore. I'm actually, I'm gonna put the link here. And the world is still there, even though it's after the festival, but we kept it live for anyone to check it out. I'm gonna put the link here. And then for next year, we're gonna bring in new art, and we're gonna update the world a little bit, dress it up in a different way.
Okay. And another question from Luisa Jeremy. In the UK, immersive economy companies are looking for solutions to create immersive narrative. Which challenge has the UK already overcome, and which are still to be overcome?
So here in the UK, I think we're lucky enough that the government deems arts and culture very important, and XR is kind of on the cutting edge of that arts and culture. So there is various kind of like public funding bodies and organizations that give public funding, one of which is Creative England, who have been giving public funding to various artists for various art forms. And this is public funding for experiences, and when it comes to VR experiences that are kind of showcased in galleries or at cultural organizations, and then they get like a development grant. So that's one. And then the other one is an organization called Digital Catapult, who also collaborate with Creative England, and they created this program called Creative XR, which every year they have a call for projects, and then VR creators apply, and then they select 20 projects, and then those 20 projects get £20,000 to be able to create a prototype of that experience. And then on the back of that, then Creative XR program leaders also connect these creators with other potential funders. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's the time is over.
Yeah, no worries.
But that was very, very nice. And ok, Antônio, acho que o tempo já deu, né, Liara? Aí a gente pode finalizar falando da nossa próxima programação, né? Maria, thank you very much. Thank you. And our expectation is that you can do this together in the next year,
Hopefully, yes.
Our partnership will be more and more.
It will continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And eu queria finalizar e chamar as pessoas para nossas próximas atrações. Hoje, a nossa próxima atração de hoje, deixa eu pegar aqui a nossa programação. A nossa próxima atração de hoje é a mesa redonda. Deixa eu só pegar aqui direito para não esquecer. A nossa próxima atração agora é a conferência à tarde. No período da tarde é um painel sobre TV imersiva, a partir das 14 horas. Ela será moderada pela Deis Feitosa, do nosso Lab Art Media do Habited, e nós teremos a presença da Débora Sayad, do MediaCom da UFF, Marcelo Moreno, do Fórum Brasileiro de TV Digital, meu parceiro lá do Fórum, e da Universidade Federal de Juiz de Fora, Eduardo Acquarone, do Instituto Universitário de Lisboa, Portugal, e também do nosso Habited aqui da ECA USP. Então, a gente espera vocês nessa próxima palestra às 14 horas, e às 16h30, nós teremos um painel de investigação em experimentações científicas e mercado em XR, com Luiz Velho, do IMPA Laboratório Visgraf, Romero Tori, do Interlab Poli USP, Inês Maciel, do PPGMC ECO da UFRJ, o Raulisson Terabiu, do Binóculos Brasil, e a mediação da nossa colega Alessandra Malheiros, da PPGIs da UFSCar. E esse é o de hoje, a gente termina a tarde com essas duas palestras. A gente chama vocês para continuar com a gente, e amanhã teremos também uma outra programação extensa, e no domingo a finalização também da programação. Eu queria muito agradecer a presença de todos até aqui e contar com todos para esses nossos 3 dias de debates, e não esqueçamos, nós temos até o dia 28 as 3 mostras, a mostra que a Maria falou agora do Raindance Immersive, no Vive Tracker, a mostra do nacional de vídeos e filmes 360 e realidade aumentadas e mista pela Display, e a nossa mostra em parceria com a com o Marte Festival de Minas Gerais. Contamos com vocês e assistam pela Display a continuidade dessa nossa evento X-Reality USP, versão 2021 online. Agradeço muito, muito obrigado, e muito obrigado demais a essa equipe incrível do X-Reality USP e esses nossos organizadores que estão comigo nesse tempo todo, a Deis Feitosa, a Liara Oliveira, o Luiz Angerami Ramos, o VJ Pixel e a Maria, que estamos juntos desde o começo planejando esse trabalho. Maria Rakušanová. Agradeço e nos veremos. Muito, muito obrigado. Podemos ir para a vinheta, Antônio.